sketch a curve, y equals f of x, which has the following properties. So the limit, the two-sided limit at -2 does not exist. The next one, the one-sided limit from the right at -2 does exist, but they're not telling me what value that they want. The third condition that we need to satisfy is the limit at -2, this time from the left side of f of x, has to be 1, so there is a limit there. So I'm not done reading, but just for a moment, we need to realize, okay, well, if this limit is 1, this one here that has to exist can't be 1, because if they were both 1, then since they agree, the two-sided limit would exist. So this is why we got to think about these pieces before we start making or sketching our quick little curve, because we need all the conditions satisfied. Okay, we get another limit for our fourth condition. The limit as x approaches 3 from the left of our function is -4, and this one is not a limit, but it's a value. F at 3 has to be 0. That's fine, because the value of a function should be, at least in your mind, disconnected from the idea of a limit. Sometimes they're equal, but in this case, they are not. So we don't have graph paper. I'm just going to quickly sketch over here. Suppose if I wanted to, I could get graph paper. If I wanted to, I could get out a ruler and stuff like that. But we'll just sketch a little bit of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's our y-axis, our x-axis. And we definitely need to have 3 and -2 along the x-axis, and we need to go all the way down to -4 for the, oops, that's a -2, for the y-axis, just to satisfy these conditions. So I think that's good. If we wanted to, we could make it a little bit fancier, but okay. So we are free to sketch this curve however we want. They don't even say things like f of x has to be defined for all real numbers, anything like that. I think I will draw mine that way. But yeah, we can do lots of things. Now, one thing, just with the first 3 conditions being about -2, okay, we've got to approach 1 from the left side, and we have to approach something specifically, but it can't be 1 from the right-hand side. Otherwise, we'll fail this first condition. So, I don't know, maybe we'll sketch our curve going up like this towards 1. Maybe it doesn't actually have the value of 1 at -2, at least not from this direction. Well, yeah, it doesn't have 1. And then we've got to come somewhere else, so I'll say maybe we'll do something silly up here, and then maybe it'll careen down in here towards -2 at -2. Okay. So now this limit at -2 from the right, we'll say it also happens to be -2. And I'm going to draw it as though f of x is defined over all real numbers, so we will use a filled-in dot. But that's, doesn't have to. There's nothing that says f at -2 does have to exist. One thing to note, this is just my sketch of a function that satisfies these conditions. So if you're sitting there saying, how did he know it had to go up like this? No, that's just me being a little creative. The only thing we got to do is make sure these 5 properties hold. Now, we do have to have a big drop down here because we got to go to -4 from the right, and we can't actually be equal to -4 at 3. So we'll do this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have a little bit of fun and go up and down a little bit. There we go. But at 3, we're going to have a value of 0, and then they don't say anything about the limit from the right, so we could start there, or maybe the limit from the right is +4, and then we'll just sort of trail off this way. Right, there we go. Perfectly fine function. It satisfies the conditions we want. So there we go. We're all done.